Well, good morning. Thank you for attending this session on our SAFA Summit on Achieve One Version of the Truth with Dynamics Consumer Goods. So, my name is Nuno, and I'm a pre-sales consultant at TechMan. Hope you can hear me. If anything you do not understand, please shout, let me know. You can unmute yourself and just ask any questions. We have scheduled 1 hour. I believe the session should take about half an hour, and then also gives us time to place some questions. And that will be afterwards. Okay. So what we're covering is what is this Achieve One Version of the Truth, and how we find many customers working in separate systems. So we'll focus on that first, and then some of the integrated solutions that we work with and even develop, most of those, and how does that fit into Dynamics Consumer Goods solution. Then we'll go through the software. We'll do some place some orders online, receive some goods, place them in the warehouse, use a barcode scanner to move things in the warehouse, and then ship them to the customer. Okay, so it'll be quite a simple scenario, but the goal is to show that everything goes in real time and is integrated with BC. So there's no files having to be printed or duplication of data entry or anything like that. So in terms of separate systems, this is a big issue we find in customers, even nowadays, where they have their websites that are being managed independently, where they have to maintain a customer list or maintain products list, maintain prices, etc., etc. And then even more, when they get orders on the website, how to put those orders into their software package, and then from that to control how much stock they have. So I've seen customers that they use Excel files to control the stock quantities, what is supposed to come and when, what is supposed to be shipped to customers and when, and it's very, very hard work, very time consuming, and you can easily get into a human error. It can happen, and even if that is not the case, the person or the people that are usually doing this kind of work are crucial to the business. So even for them, even to have a holiday, it might be quite hard, and for the business might be quite hard to lose someone like this. So there's a big dependency on people in what they do because of manual work that is required to control the information on different files. Okay, and then the duplication of data entry. You have a CRM system where you have your other prospects, contacts, and then they become customers, and you have to go to a different system and type them manually, and this is not good. Okay, so we have multiple versions of multiple softwares, each one with their own information, and then which one is the truth? Okay, which one is the most accurate? Naturally, many times they might think and they have the information the same, but it's very, very hard to maintain all these different pieces of software. Okay. So, moving on. So what do we want? What we want here? We want an integrated solution, right? We want an integrated solution where all these external bits, they're all connected directly to BC, in this case to Business Central Software, or Dynamics Consumer Goods solution, and wherever happens, whether it's on a website or an e-commerce platform or on a barcode scanner, whatever happens in these, the information is real time, updated in BC. So there is only one version of the truth in terms of what's your financial position, what's your stock count, Where are the goods? What are you supposed to receive and when? What are you supposed to ship to customers and when they are expecting it? So all the information is concentrated in one place. So it's easier to maintain. It's not so prone. There's no human error in trying to sync information because that is being done by the application. And it's much faster. It's much faster to have, let's say, an e-commerce platform that gets an order and automatically places it in your BC, whether if it's sent to BC or if it's BC pushing that, pulling that information to himself. It's real time, okay? And there's no user intervention for it to happen. So we'll be looking at some of the apps developed to work in Business Central and the functionality that they bring in, how we make it easy for the different bits of software to communicate with each other, and that the synchronization of data is always up to date. And that is a very big thing. And also, the user intervention is focused on managing, let's say, the business, managing is that this data, this order that came online, is it good? Is it good data? Is it correct? Can we meet? Do we have the stock to meet it, and so on, rather than having to be typing and making sure the data is correct. Okay. So in our Dynamics Consumer Goods solution, our apps are available in Microsoft Marketplace. So, and some of these apps I'll be showing here, they are in the Microsoft Marketplace that you go through the extensions and just install it. So it's not something that, okay, we're doing an implementation and say, oh, by the way, let's do here a mod or a change to create this specific functionality. No, it's already built. And being in Microsoft Marketplace, then it has to comply with quite a lot of rules from Microsoft, quite a lot of function testing and regression testing. It's quite intense. And so it does bring an extra level of security when the time comes and you upgrade BC, that those apps, they will also be ready for that upgrade, okay, and that they're fully compatible with the standard BC, Business Central. And so this functionality is complementing Business Central in communicating whether with your customers or with your vendors. Okay, so in this example, in the demo I'll do today, I'll focus on the getting an order from a customer via web portal or online shop, and then the warehouse communication. Okay, that's the handheld in Business Central. So these are apps developed by Clever Dynamics, and they are available on Microsoft Marketplace. Okay, so whether you're a customer or whether you are another partner, you can get these apps and run them. Okay. So here is an example of different software solutions that are integrated in BC and complement the standard functionality. So when we look into our screen, we see, for example, EDI. EDI is quite a big technology that we use, and more and more, it's far more important to have this running and with as most companies and most partners as possible. So usually this will be in a business-to-business scenario where we have a framework where all these many known customers, companies in the UK communicate with Amazon, Aldi, Tesco, Sainsbury's, etc., etc. So they get their orders through EDI from what will be, let's say, your customer or the company where BC was implemented. So they place these orders, so they get these orders via EDI from these main companies, distribution, selling companies, and those will come automatically into BC. Okay, so there's no user intervention on having to place orders or having to check if or when is the order to be fulfilled, and is it right, and there's no manual work in that matter. Okay, I'm going to show an example of an order coming into BC via EDI, but I will show you one already in BC. Okay, I will not replicate communication from any other company. We do then have the mobile warehouse, which integrates with all the warehouse tasks into BC directly. So it avoids users having to, or the warehouse workers having to access BC directly or using pieces of paper. So that's what something we want to avoid. And then we have a solution here. It's called shop floor data capture. We know now, or we've known it as a clever MES. This is for the production, shop floor production, to control steps or operators and stages of a routing, how many units out, how many components consumed, and so on and so on. We have document management solution, and then the e-commerce bit, which I'll show one of those here. CRM or Dynamics customer engagement. As we can see, it's not in BC, but it is now integrated with standard product. It is integrated in quite a lot of areas, such as accounts and products, and you can configure even what you want to synchronize and which direction. So now create an account. So you have a contact and then an account in the CRM. It just synchronizes straight away with BC. So you don't have to enter information on different systems. Okay, you enter in one, it replicates to the other. Then it's just a matter of setup, how we want and what we want to synchronize between the two solutions. Okay. So with enough slides, let's dive in and see some software. Okay. So I'll bring up my BC here. Okay. So these are my standard business central, my Dynamics Consumer Goods solution. Okay. I have installed some apps, and then we'll see which ones. On this particular case, and for an online shop, I have connected with the Shopify, and with Shopify, so I can show here, I created an order of a specific item, and as this order was created on BC, it will come directly. Okay, there's a job queue. We configure to run it whenever you want, and this can synchronize customers, products, gallery of the products of the image, and even its stock availability if we want to. Okay, so when we look in the shop, we go in products. I created an item here, take Sofa Summit, and there was no stock when I created the order, so straight away it's showing here -2. Okay, and here my order. So this is the order I just created before, just to show you. And here what happens is the orders will come into BC. Okay, I have them to stop at this stage, so I'm not auto accepting any orders because I want to show you. So I have here this order 1002, which was that one at 927. See, there's no sales order associated with it, so I want to go into this screen and review all these online orders before I place them as actual sales orders in BC. So when I look into this order, I'll see some information or the customer, and you can even configure in this example if you want the customer to come from Shopify or the other way around. So you can configure the direction of the synchronization of data. Okay, so we have here 2 units of this item. and has been paid on the website. If not, and if we have an app of our payment service, PayPal, WorldPay, SagePay, etc., we can. So as we configure that against the customer, we can actually then have on the sales, let's say on the sales order confirmation, have that link showing up in the report. So if the document is sent to the customer, then they can pay there through that link, which then communicates to you in BC. That's an example. So I have this order. I'm happy with it. I can see some details here about this customer. And if you're happy with it, then you just some extra information on transactions that have happened or shipping costs. I actually defined the £5 delivery shipping cost, so I can process and create the sales document. Let's give it a couple of seconds. Okay, so now we assigned it sales order number 91. We can go through here. I'll go to the main page of sales orders. So you see the navigation. It's fairly easy to navigate around, and you also have the search box, which gives very fast way to reach a specific page. Okay, we'll use it next time. So on our sales order number 91, just opening. Okay, so we have here the information about that sales order. So the 2 units of the item plus delivery. Okay, and here I'm using a specific app for the integration called Scapify to integrate with Shopify. So Shopify will be a more business to customer platform. We also work with Sana, and that is more on a business to business environment, as Sana is far more powerful than it is Shopify, and more oriented towards companies that are buying it on the website and not final customers. Okay, so it links to the Shopify order, and it has the normal sales order information. Okay, and when we look into terms of stock, available inventory 0. Okay, so we don't have stock for this order. Okay, so this is one way to get a sales order in the system from an online shop like Shopify. When coming through EDI, and by now we have several million of transactions, because so if we're working with our EDI, there's an issue, you can contact us, or even before you know there's an issue, we see, because we have all the logs. We are, let's say, the central point of where your, let's say, Amazon sends the order or the orders, and then it goes on our, what's it, platform, EDI platform, and then that goes to your PC. Okay, if something happens, we're seeing that straight away, and also makes us the single point of contact, whether it's PC or EDI or both. And our clever EDI is just installed within PC. So one of the tables of pages for our clever EDI solution is the pending inbound documents. Okay, so I have here these orders. So let's focus on this Sofa Summit order. And what I created in here was against this customer, so this TechMan customer, we create what's called a document agreement. And that document agreement is basically a set of rules. So let's open this one. It's a set of rules regarding the EDI behavior. Do you want to accept the order? Do you accept the price that is coming on the order, or you want to use the price that is in BC? There's quite a few rules some flags that you decide yes or no, and through that, just putting here, through that, that's the behavior of the EDI. So in this case, I'm not auto-accepting orders because I want to stay here in pending inbound document where I can review it, and I can also show it to you. And that's the main reason to show you. So we have here this order. So basically the EDI behavior is different per customer. And we have over 100, let's say, partners or formats, EDI formats, already working, already configured. So if you would come on board and you want Clever EDI and you're connecting with Amazon, it's very straightforward. We already have the format. You just confirm it's all okay and it's working. That's it, ready to go. So we have this order, and if we're happy with it, I'm not going to do many more. Some few other fields here. If you want a specific supplier to connect to, but I have all blank, so I just wanted to make it very simple. I just wanted this order to come in. It's in our pending inbound document. I look at it, I'm happy with it, and I accept it. Okay. So it's gone from there, and if I go into my sales orders, so now I have order 92. Okay. My order 92, and without stock. Okay. So if I'm happy with these orders, I can then just release it. And since I'm using a warehouse with the required receive, required shipment, etc., so I can just then show you the barcode. I'm just releasing it, and I could create warehouse shipment, get sales orders, but I'm going to just create a warehouse shipment for each one. Okay. So create this warehouse shipment, and then I can go to the other sales order. I'll just do the same. So this one is released. This is from the Shopify order. And I'll just create the warehouse shipment. Okay. So now I have here quite a few sales orders that required quite a good amount of units, but there's no stock. So, and I've seen, as I mentioned before, I've seen customers where the stock control and then all the, let's say, forecast is done on Excel files. It's done through their knowledge of the business, with sometimes 20, 30 years of knowledge of the business or more. And so there's no real, let's say, software suggesting or recommending what and when to buy or to make. It could be production orders, could be assembly orders, etc. This example, I'm just using an item which is just through a purchase, so buy and sell. So I'm not putting here any production, as that's it will take quite some time. So I'm going to run. In this case, I will use the requisition worksheet. If you're using the planning worksheet, you can actually then send your purchases to the requisition if it's a different department that is doing all the requisition. So in here, I'll keep it simple. So if there are any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. Okay, you can do it both ways. Okay, feel free to interrupt. It's fine. So I'll just calculate plan for this month, for this item. I will make it simple, just this item. So he's saying I need to buy 22 units of this item. And order tracking. Why do I need those 22? So it's to fulfill these two sales orders accordingly. Okay. So if I'm happy with it, let's process it, and create the purchase order. Okay. So then we can go to purchase orders, just to look at it. And we'll go here in the end. Very last one. And we have 22 units of this item that are expected to arrive. Okay. Planned receipt on the 17th, so still 3 days away, but let's say it arrived beforehand and we're doing it now. Okay. And from now, that's where our warehouse solution can come into play. And instead of then you having to, let's say, print POs to give to the warehouse workers, so they know what they are receiving and then where to place them. All these papers back and forth, we can avoid it or minimize it or even avoid it. Okay, depends a lot on the processes in warehouse, and that's something we work together to achieve. So on this matter here, this PO, so let's say this PO is arriving. Okay, if there is before that, sorry, let's just exit. Yeah, let me just show you something else before. So in terms of our handheld solution, as you can install it in BC from the marketplace, the Clever handheld, and in your phone, could be an Android phone. You search for the Clever handheld, and you can install it. Excuse me, on the phone. So, in terms of the functions that we offer standard within this system, as you can see, it's quite a lot of movements, and you can always look into them, each one, and see which fields are being, let's say, asked or displayed on screen. And this is BC. These are BC tables and pages, so you can edit. You can change it yourself and improve your process. Okay. When we go into device menus, so you have your users. So the users here are different than the BC users. So this is when you have the, let's say, the device license, and users are different names. And these users can have their specific menu. And the menus, then you only show what you want them to focus on, rather than the whole solution. You can just give them a specific set of information. So when we click on this default menu, and we can see, so let's just minimize the hotkey bit. And you have all the different options or functions within the handheld, where you can assign pictures to those icons or button colors and so on. So if I move forward, it's a driver, and the driver only has what's to be shipped and some item inquiry, bin inquiry. That's it. Okay. If we move on to the operative, and this is the one I will be showing you, the operative one, where you can see all these pictures and where they show in the handheld. Okay. So it's very customizable, very easy to change, add things in here. Okay. And as I said before, this is a different set of users. Okay. So handheld users. Here I'll be using the user demo with the operative menu. Okay. There's also languages, so you can actually have different languages in your warehouse. So if you have warehouse people from different countries where they might struggle with English for some reason, because they just don't know enough, you can actually help them and put the captions of the operations they're doing in their own language. Okay. and that is quite good. So, having said that, I'll open the handheld solution and receive that PO. So we just go on the purchase order. One with 22 units. Purchase order. So yeah, this one was good. So we'll eventually we would have released it and sent to the supplier the PO, so we could deliver. And so when that happens, I'll just make this smaller in here. Screen smaller, as I want to show my. So I'm using my phone, okay, Android phone. Here we have Clever Dynamics for the handheld, so that's the one I'm using. Click. Now, if to connect to my BC, we have that. I didn't show you before. So I can just put my password and go because it's ready. Or if it's new and I just installed, I can click Connect Device App, which gives me a token. So in here, if I click on the cogwheel on top right, and then on the top right again to add, so you can see all these settings, and I select use a token. So if I click use a token and do next, and then I read that token barcode from my screen, and it's connected. You see, took a few seconds. So install it. So in my case, install it from Google Play, Clever Dynamics, handheld. You create a new connection, use a token, read the token from the BC system, and it's ready to go. Okay, very simple. So we'll go back here. So I don't have a printing report to print labels when I receive goods. So I see as I hit 0, I have not created that such report. So what happens in this case, and so imagining that the goods coming in are not barcoded, so there's absolutely nothing to read the barcode from. So I just created here the updated purchase order report, just to make my life easy in terms of the scanning. Okay. If your items from your suppliers come with the barcode, you can just create those as item cross-reference, and you scan those, and that's it. You'll recognize the item in your system. So I'm just creating here the purchase order, sending to Word document. Okay. And my purchase order, which is opening in here. Can I show you? So I'm reading this QR purchase order number, and then I have my item as a 128 barcode, so that I can read them and make my life easier. So I'm receiving 22 units, and I have no physical goods here in this demo. So I'll click on receiving. In this case, I'll go to receipt, and what's the order number? So I could have created a warehouse receipt number, and I could read that warehouse receipt number here. I didn't, so I'm reading the purchase order number, and the system will go. So the handheld solution will go, and so let's just read that one, PO68. So we will go and we will create warehouse receipt for me, and then it creates the put away. So delivery reference 123 ref. Done. Now, which item am I receiving? Because there could be many items on this PO. So I'm selecting which item am I unloading beforehand. So I'll press here, and I use my camera to scan. Okay, so the camera is not as good as a proper barcode device, where you can point and you really there. With the camera, it's a bit wide on the phone. It works, but it's not as fast as a proper scanner. So the quantity to receive, say we receive them all. So I could do partials, normal. Then I'll just have to repeat this until fully received. And now post. Okay, so what is created here, let's just get this out of the way. If we look into our item, we'll see that's in the goods in. Okay, so it has received into the goods in area. Let's just here. Okay, and so I have other stock, and let's click navigate, warehouse bin contents. So yeah, I have 10 in a goods out that is ready to go for a different sales order. Just needs to be shipped. So I have these 22 received into the goods in. Okay, and now what the system created was a put away to move from the goods in into the final shelf. Okay, so it's number 26. You can actually open just to see what's in there. So from the device, when then the warehouse worker will need to put away things, so you can click put away, and then okay, which item is he putting away? Okay, because it might not know this, it doesn't know this number, right? There might be a huge list of put aways to do. So is the trigger is to do it from the item by scanning the item. So if I go here on my document, because then I have the barcode here for the item. So you read, you identify that it's on put away 26 from this PO. There's 22 units in goods in, and the expected place is the A001. So quantity, I'll say it's moving to 22. And my placed bin code, I might actually want to place it somewhere else. So I'm going to place it in a different bin, which I'll scan. B001, and then post, and it's gone. So if I go back here, this is just a matter of refresh. This one is gone now, doesn't exist. So warehouse bin contents. So now my 22 units are in B001 and no more in goods in. Okay. So going back, and then of course you have all item inquiries. If you want to search for a specific item, where is it? And you can scan segment item, and it's showing the different, it's basically giving me the bin contents list. Okay, and you can configure which fields are displayed, and are they promoted, are they standard, or are they additional, just like in the fast tabs in Business Central, where you click and you get some extra fields. Same principle. So this is BC functionality, but in the handheld. Okay. So if I go back, if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay. Then we have other solutions that allow the integration with the shipping agents, whether it's DHL and Royal Mail, UPS, and so on, and other app that allows to see which deliveries are happening, and it sorts reversely so that the last one to be placed in a van or a lorry is the first one to be delivered. Okay, there's quite a few apps on that complement the Dynamics consumer goods. So they are the Dynamics consumer goods solution, where it gives you that extra information to have everything within Business Central and not having documents and pieces of paper here and there, or having other apps to do specific tasks. So following on that, we could get a route planner app to connect with BC and together managed what is the best sorting for those deliveries. Okay. So page I would suggest for you guys to have a read here in docs.cleverdynamics.com, and you can see all the apps in there. Okay, just have a browse through that and then see for yourself, read about it. Okay, so here, let me see where we are on time. There's actually not much time. So from here, what I just want to do is just send some goods to a customer. So we have a warehouse manager here in this specific company that is looking into warehouse shipments. Okay, he's looking into warehouse shipments to see what's being picked, partially, completely picked. So this one could say it's ready to go. It's fully picked. You can just open it. So those 10 units in the goods out. So this one is ready to go. I do want to show you the pick. So I'll pick here a different one. 20 units in here, and these are 2 units. So this is the one that came from Shopify. 2 units, if I'm not mistaken. So here, I can just go into action. So then you can create a pick per warehouse shipment, or you can use the pick worksheet, which just grabs all your warehouse shipments, and then you create picks by zone or by item. It really depends on the size of your warehouse, and do you need to manage the pick strategy. Is it by item, by aisle within the warehouse? In this case, I'm just doing a one-to-one. It's very simple. So pick number 20. Okay. And in the device, so since it was not assigned to a warehouse worker, so it's just on the list. And the warehouse worker, if nothing has been assigned, when you go into picking and you click pick, so this is a setup field where you prompt the user if he knows which pick he wants to work on. If not, we don't have this, and it's like clicking no, and it just brings you the first of the list. Okay, so the warehouse worker can't actually choose which one to have. So pick number 20, which was that one. This is the only one there. So I scan my item. The bin code, so it's in B001. And quantity to handle 2. And done. And that's it. So if we refresh this, see, completely picked. Okay, quantity pick 2. So that pick 20 has been registered, and the goods are ready to go. So then, if you're having shipping, the shipment management app, which is grabbing all these deliveries that you have to do, looking into your postcodes, looking to the routes, and there's some videos on YouTube even about this specific app. Have a look at it. It will then sort all your deliveries appropriately, and then you can then even track all the picks that done through there. Okay, so you can simplify the warehouse manager life quite a lot, and reduce paper considerable, and having all the information in one page, in one solution. Okay, so you can do everything here and not going around through Excel files and different apps, and then is that one done? Okay, let me go and update here, etc. Which it's a lot of hours, human hours, that are just being consumed doing tasks that shouldn't be needed to, or they are not needed when we get into this level of solution. Okay. So having this picked, I could do the shipment from the device. I'll just go back in here. I could do the shipment from the device, just read that number. So read the number and post the shipment, choose integration, etc., or it can be done from here. Okay, so could just do the post shipment in from here. Then the norm, or ship an invoice, or just ship and then go on sales order and invoice there. then this is just the standard functionality, and that's your process, how it guides. Okay. So if we refresh this page, so now we have 2 units less. So I hope it was useful, this session for you, just to show you a bit of integration with the Shopify, so online shop to customers, or getting an EDI order in the system. Where does it sit? And then just receive or see those orders, get those orders confirmed, run the planning to suggest purchase if you don't have stock, receive that stock, put it in your warehouse, and then go into your shipments, pick those goods and send it to the customer. Okay, and it's all within BC. This warehouse solution handheld, it just gives that extra level of comfort for a warehouse worker in scanning. So paperless and just action triggered by the device on what you need to do. Okay. So I hope you have enjoyed.